I've had my horse for 5 years. The first year or two, he bucked me off twice. 3 years later, I was practicing loping to emergency stops, and he bucked me right off. Some people told me this is normal, and that going 3 years without bucking under saddle is really good for a horse. Is that the case? Where do I go from here in order to feel safe riding him?
Thank you for your question, TB. When it comes to bucking like this, you getting bucked off is already a problem, okay? So let's just dispense with that right off the bat. Anytime I get bucked off a horse, something went wrong. Was it a lack of preparation on my part? Did I put the horse in a bad position? Did the horse catch me off guard and I wasn't paying attention? I wasn't ready for it. So I was kind of chuckling reading your question. In my mind, I'm thinking to myself, if I got in a car accident in 2010 and it's been 10 years since I got in another one, that doesn't mean the second one's not a problem. Like, they're both a problem. You understand what I'm saying? So yes, it's an issue. No, it's not normal. What you've got to try to figure out for yourself, what went wrong here? What were you doing? Was the horse too fresh and you didn't warm him up properly? Have you been letting him just sit in the stall, overfeeding him and underworking him? You bring him out, he's full of energy, you put him in a bit of a bind, or you ask him to do something and he blew up and he bucked with you. Is that uncommon? No, it's not uncommon. Is it acceptable? Of course it's not acceptable. But what it would tell me is that's more of a lack of preparation on your part, okay? I'm going to give you an example. When you're listening to this, just see if any of these things are kind of ringing true for what you think you might be doing. I'm not seeing what you're doing, and you didn't really even describe what you were doing, so I'm just going to take a stab at it, and we'll just see if this rings true for you. These are the kind of things I see all the time that make me crazy. Let's just say, for example, I'll get somebody that'll come to a clinic, and they'll say something like, I took my horse out, last week, and I hadn't ridden him in 3 or 4 months, and I took him on a big trail ride. We all met at such and such whatever national forest. There was 20 or 30 of us, and I got on him beside the trailer, untied him, I sucked up the girth tight, I got straight on him, and everything was good for the first couple of minutes. And then one of these horses over here, he kind of stumbled and kind of bumped into my horse. And my horse just blew up and bucked and dumped me on my head right there and then galloped back through the camp, right? And usually it'll start with some sort of, and that's why people need to have better etiquette. And that horse, when it stumbled and it bumped into my horse, they ought to know better than that. So Jeff, what would you tell people about riding too close to each other and so on? And they usually don't like where I go with this, which is that horse stumbling and bumping into your horse shouldn't have done anything. It shouldn't have made any difference whatsoever, okay? That's like saying that just because somebody gets out of their car at the grocery store and bumps the door of your car, that's like saying you leap out of your car and jump into traffic. Do those two things sound like they match? No. It just bumped the door. Address it and figure out what's going on, okay? When the horse bumps into my horse should be broke enough that he's, hey, whatever, what? I don't know why he's bumping into us right now, but we got a trail ride to go on, right? Why did he buck you off? He's fresh. He's full of energy. You did no preparation. You didn't ride him for 3 months. You brought him out with a group of 30 horses, and he's already wired. He's already a ticking time bomb. That's just the trigger. I've heard that scenario. He was good for the first 20 minutes and we crossed the first puddle. And then when he jumped the puddle, as soon as he landed on the other side, he bucked me off. Jeff, he was good for the first 20 minutes and then somebody else's horses kind of, scooted forward and kind of farted or whatever, and that got him going. He stepped on a twig, and when he heard that twig crack, he jumped and he bucked me off. How do I desensitize him to twigs? It's not the twig. It was already a time bomb. You already didn't get the horse listening to you, using the thing inside of his brain. Go move his feet. Go get a little sweat on his neck when you haven't ridden him in a while. Go set him up for, what I really think about when I say this? I always expect horses to act like horses. I expect horses to act like prey animals. I expect horses to jump at silly stuff that they've got no business jumping over. I expect them to try to leap over the puddle. I expect them to, for the first couple of minutes on the trail ride, to be kind of reactive and be silly because I haven't ridden him in 4 months. So I go do my preparation because you know what? I'm not going to set you up for failure. I want to set you up for success. I don't want to go out there and I don't want it to be dumb luck that we survived. Don't go out and hope for the best. Hope's not a strategy. Don't go out and say, right, I sure hope this goes well because we definitely haven't done any preparation. And you might say, well, Jeff, but he's normally good though, okay? Don't fool yourself into thinking just because the horse is normally good. Hey, listen, dumb luck works some of the time. Some of the time that'll get you by just fine, okay? But so many times I see scenarios like this, especially if it's very random. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Usually the answer to that is the rhyme or reason is lack of preparation. I just had a lady not that long ago that I helped that she'd been working a horse. Everything had been going really well. She took it to a barrel race. The horse was kind of being a little silly tied to the trailer. She's running a little bit behind. She got on it right beside the trailer. The horse when she got on it, it was being a little silly and it kind of spun around and it bumped the side of the trailer, the fender of the trailer, and it jumped, it blew up right there and it dumped her, okay? And it broke several ribs. It had to be off for several months, couldn't ride, all right? Now, what I appreciate about that lady is immediately, she didn't ask me, how do I desensitize my horse into bumping into trailers? She openly admitted, no, something in my gut told her I shouldn't have got on her. I definitely shouldn't have got on her right beside the trailer because what if she acts like a horse? What if she does something silly? She should have took it out 50 feet away from the trailer. Number one, shouldn't have got on it in the first place. If it's dancing around and acting like a moron, even better, let's put your neck on the line. What could possibly go wrong? Hey, listen, if you're already telling me you want to do silly, stupid, reactive things, that's totally fine, but do them by yourself. Don't do them when my neck's on the line, okay? So I want you to really, I don't want you, when you hear this, don't reflexively say, that's not me, Jeff. I'm not one of those people. Okay, what I'm saying, I'm not trying to insult you by saying that. But I want you to give yourself an honest look and say, right, what have I been doing? Have I been riding the horse consistently? What was I doing when this scenario happened? Did I put myself in a bad position that I really shouldn't have been in? Did I have a lack of preparation beforehand? When horses are fresh, full of energy, and been sitting in the stall or the pasture and you bring them out, how many times do we see a horse when I'll give you an example. You take a horse out of the stall and you go turn him out in a turnout lot or a turnout pasture. What do? They run and they buck and they kick and they fart around and they do all this kind of silly stuff, right? And you might think, well, he's just playing. That's you on his back. If you just get him out, all that energy is there. Just because I tighten the cinch down doesn't mean the energy just dissipates. It's there. So you need to go double check that, hey, when I get on him, none of that horse playing stuff. Your horse very well may not be trying to buck you off. He just got reactive. He got silly, he blew up, and you were the one that was in the crossfire, okay? So I want you to take a good look at what were you doing? Did you set him up for success, okay? Or did you just have a lack of preparation and this time it bit you in the backside? It is a problem. You want to get on top of this. No, it's not normal, and no, it's not acceptable, okay? But ultimately, you're going to have to assess what were you doing or not doing that led to this result.
Like what you see? Then get the app. Join the club and watch it all. Anytime, anywhere. On any device. Experience the mobile method today.